Hello, my friends. It's Thursday again. It's Thursday. It's another stream here. Andre here. I hope you've had a great week this time. And we've got a weekend coming. So it's again time to explore some new technologies, see what's new and interesting, and whether there is something that would actually change the way how we work. So this week, I actually stumbled upon VitePress. So last week, we were looking at Vite, a new tool that enables very rapid local development. And it was so interesting that I spent pretty much my Friday looking through how to make Next.js, Gatsby, and other SSGs work with Vite. And I found out that it's not possible because they all use Webpack and they are not fully compatible with Vite yet. So I was, I have a new project in my pipeline that I really want to try new technologies on, and I didn't really find any good fit for that because I wanted to use Vite, and you can obviously use a Nuxt too. There is a plugin for bringing Vite into Nuxt 2 instead of Webpack, but I figured if I'm gonna be using Nuxt, I'd better just wait for Nuxt 3, which is gonna come in beta, I think, in the next quarter. So I didn't want to use the Nuxt version 2, but I still wanted to use Vue 3. During Googling this stuff, I stumbled upon VitePress. And that looked really interesting. So let's take a look how that static state generator looks like. So this looks pretty much like the VuePress documentation. Nothing really, it's just a standard documentation built with Vue. But what is the motivation? We love VuePress, but it's built on top of Webpack. So they wanted to do something that works with Vite, which is exactly the place where I'm coming from, or where I'm at right now. So the biggest improvement over VuePress is that it uses Vue 3. Now, Vue 3 has been available from the end of last year, which is great. I've tried it. I've tried the composition API. It's really nice, really great. It's slightly more complicated than the options API. So we're seeing Vue come, closer to React, I would say. As people become more experienced with Vue, they require more features. They require better code reusability and so on. So Vue is just trying to please them. And it's a slightly more complicated, but if you've worked with Vue, it's definitely something that you can get familiar with very quickly. And VitePress is using Vue 3, which is great, and it uses Vite under the hood. So exactly these three benefits are exactly what got me interested in this. So fast dev server start, faster hot updates, and faster build. So let's try to start with this thing. Let's go getting started. And I think I've already prepared the folder. No, I didn't. Okay. So first of all, what I'm going to be doing is I'll try to do the same as the same site as we have for Gatsby. And we can take a look if this still works. I haven't touched this for quite some time. You see, 3rd of September last year. So I don't know if this is still going to work. Let's try Gatsby develop here. If this works, then we're going to see the Gatsby Lumen. If it doesn't work, then I'm just going to grab the HTML from somewhere else. And you see I've already executed the command, and it takes a lot of time. And you see just sourcing, let me see if, sourcing for nodes took 0.5 seconds only. So everything else is done by Gatsby or React or Webpack, or I don't know who's responsible for each of these steps, but it takes quite some time, you see. So in the meantime, while this runs, I'm going to create a new folder here, and I'm going to get started with Vite. So let's see, first create and change into a new directory. All right, I can do that. So I'm going to create here a new folder. Let's call that VitePress starter content lumen, or let's start with content VitePress lumen. Are we actually, well, the naming is actually different here. You see Scully starter, Gatsby starter. Let's do it the same then. VitePress starter content lumen. Oops, typo there. All right. All right, so we got the folder here. Let's, can I use npm? I don't know if I have yarn installed actually on my station. Let's see. Is yarn here? Oh, here it is, okay. So let's do yarn init. Name, okay. It's fine, version, that's fine. Yeah, that was easy. So we do yarn add def VitePress. Okay. And create our first document. All right. So let's make their docs and echo. So we're using Markdown here, yeah. Now let's create a new file, index Markdown. All right. Oops. Forgot one space here. What's wrong here? Oh, okay, he doesn't like this. All right, never mind. I'll just do it the old way. Just create folder docs and create a new file here, index.md. And we're gonna add here hello VitePress. Perfect. All right, so that's done. What are the next steps? Add some scripts to package that JSON. So you know what? I'm just gonna open this in a VS Code so that we have some nice view of this. Here we go. Okay, now we're looking for package.json and we should add some scripts here. So I'm just gonna copy this over. Oh, come on. All right. And serve the documentation site in the local server. Okay, let's try it. I'm just gonna open the terminal here so we have everything in one place. So it's yarn docs def. Okay, so the first script. All right. Docs def. Okay, all right. We first need to do, I guess, yarn install. VitePress is not recognized as an internal or external command. Interesting. I think I ran this, didn't I? Yarn add def VitePress. Okay. Oh, I forgot one dash here. All right, that makes sense. Okay, so let's do that again. Yarn add 2 dashes def VitePress. Okay, now it works. Oh, let me make this a bit bigger. All right, done in 20 seconds. Now, hopefully we'll be able to run the docs def. There we go. Localhost 3000. Okay, cool. So we got some layout here. The first document is there. So that looks nice. What else can we do here? You should have basic but functional VitePress documentation site. When your documentation site starts to take shape, be sure to read the deployment guide. Okay, is that it? Is that all that we need? Seems like it. All right, so let's take a look at how this works. So this is just a documentation site. How do we configure this? How do we configure the layout? Let's see. So without any configuration, the page set is pretty minimal, and the user has no way to navigate around the site. To customize your site, let's first create a VitePress directory inside your docs directory. This is where all VitePress specific files will be placed. Your project structure is probably like this. Okay. The essential file for configuring a VitePress site is VitePress config, which should export a JavaScript object. Okay, let's try it. So under docs, we should create a new folder, VitePress. And here we want to create a config.js. Description is going to be just a sample site. Okay, so this should already work, right? Press no, doesn't work yet. Okay. The essential file for configuring a VitePress site is VitePress config.js, which should export a JavaScript object. Yeah, I think we did that correctly. Check out the config reference for a full list of options. All right, let's see. So we got base, URL. If we're running in a subdirectory, we got lang. We got title, description, that's all. All right, I think we're fine here. Let's go further. Asset handling. All Markdown files are compiled into Vue components and processed by Vite. You can and should reference any assets using relative URLs. Okay, you can reference static assets in your Markdown files. Your Vue components in the themes, styles, and plain CSS files either using absolute public paths or relative paths based on your file system. Okay. So we don't have any assets right now, but what I'm interested in, can we actually change the layout somehow? Let's see, using Vue and Markdown, all right. Because VitePress applications are sub-rendered in Node.js when generating static builds, any Vue usage must conform to the universal code requirements. In short, make sure to only access browser APIs in before mount. All right, that's fine. We don't need to look at that then. If you are using or demoing components that are not SSR friendly, you can wrap them inside the built-in client-only component. Okay. We can handle that. That's fine. So I assume, all right, let's create here. All right, let's see. So the Gatsby site is finally working. So let's see how that looks like. I hope at least. No, it isn't. Okay, let's run it remotely. This is way too slow. So Gatsby Lumen starter content. I think we have a live version of this on GitHub somewhere. So this might be faster. Yeah, there we go. There's a live demo here. So this is how I want the page to look like, right? So I think that there is an about me page. Yeah. So let's try to create that at least here. So we're gonna go into docs, create a new file here, about me.md. And let's use the same thing here. Okay, there's no navigation. All right, let me try to run this again. Okay, this only contains index, nothing else. So I guess we need to do everything ourselves here. But it's still quite not clear to me. How do we handle the menus and how do we plug into the layout here? Maybe I'm missing something. Let me check VitePress if there is any reference to this. Prerequisites, we have everything. Okay. I think it's the same here, guys. When your argumentation starts to take shape, yeah, that's the same thing as we saw with the VitePress. Oh, okay. Now here we go. This is interesting. I don't think that we have that here, did we? This was under getting started, directory structure. No, this is not here. So this is interesting. All right. So VitePress follows the principle of convention is better than configuration. The recommended structure, okay. So this is like grid sum, right? There is so many things that are done by convention. So, okay. So we got docs.VitePress. Here we go. I'm gonna put this on the side. And then we can have components, themes, styles, templates, config.js, that's here, and enhance app. All right, that makes sense. Finally makes sense. Okay, so let's put here theme. And in theme, I assume that we're using that to store a local theme. So how does that look like? Theme. All right, let me see. The theme components are under the same browser API access restrictions. Okay, writing a theme. The compiled content of the current MD file being rendered will be available as special content global component. Okay. So let's create here. So there is a file called layout.view. So I'm going to create that one. Layout.view. From there, it's the same as developing normal view application. It's entirely up to you how you organize your theme. Okay. Right. Okay, that makes sense. So if I put here theme container, we should get the theme container here as well. Somewhere. There's only container here. Let me see. One layout might be enough, and you might also want to define more layout components in the theme for using on different pages. Now this is fine. I guess my one layout is currently fine. Let's just remove the content and put here only hello world to see if something changes here. I'm just gonna restart this. Maybe it needs a restart when I add some files, I don't know. Let's see. Okay, now it didn't do anything. Let's check the source. Nothing's there. Let's check console. Failed to load module script. Content lumen docs theme index. Okay, that's because I didn't provide any script. Is that something that I need to do? Layout component. Okay, how do we make this work then? The compiled content of the current MD file being rendered will be available. Yeah, that's clear. So the content is wherever it will plug our theme. Let's see this. The default theme provides a homepage layout. Home true. Navbar. Now this is the default theme. That's not what I want. No, this is not what we want to write a theme. But it says that there is no script. All right, so let's try to do a script here. Oh, this is cool. It shows me, it adds the setup there automatically. Okay, let's make this, let's hide this, make this bigger. So define component. Failed to load module script. The server responded to the non-JavaScript MIME type of nothing. Okay, now there is nothing in the VitePress documentation about themes. So let's try to Google for it, like VitePress layout theme. Customization, let's see. You can develop your custom theme by adding the VitePress theme in, okay, so it should be index.js in this case. So VitePress theme, let's call this index.js then. JS file, okay. And you must export theme object and register your own theme layout. Let's say you have your own layout component like this. Okay, so we create another component like that. Then include it in a VitePress theme index.js. All right. So we want to create here a new file called layout.view. And we will copy this thing here, but without the script, only the hello world. And here we want to say export default and add the layout in there. Okay, so first of all, we want to import layout from layout.view. Let's hide this. And export default layout. Not found if we want to handle that. Custom for let's leave it as it is in the documentation for now. And then enhance app router site data. I have no idea what this does. App is the Vue3 app instance from create app. Router is VitePress custom router. Site data is a ref of current site level metadata. Okay, I guess we don't need that for now. If you want to extend the default theme, you can import it from VitePress theme. No, that's fine. I don't need that. Okay, so let's save this. Let's see if anything happened here. All right, so we got hello world now. This is good. We're moving forward. Cool. So I'm just gonna put here back the content outlet. I think that was content. Here it is. So let's see. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we got the hello VitePress first page now. Perfect. So we have one layout. That's fine. That's all I really need. What I want to check is I want to add some style sheets here. I'm just gonna take them from the Gatsby star content lumen. I think I have them here in assets. Yeah, there are some fonts here, some styles here. I hope that we can add them there as well. So I'm just gonna copy the whole thing. Now the question is, where do we put the assets? Assets handling, all right. All Markdown files are compiled into Vue components and processed by Vite. You can and should reference any assets using relative URLs. You can reference static assets, blah, blah, blah. We're looking for public files, yeah. Sometimes we need to provide static assets that are not directly referenced in any of your Markdown or theme components, favicons, and PVA icons. The public directory on the project root can be used as an escape hatch to provide static assets that either are never referenced in source code or must retain the exact same file name. So let me see, like here in assets, we have only CSS and fonts. So I guess we don't care about exact file names. So the question is, how do we include, let's Google for that as well, VitePress and Sus. Using again Markdown. VitePress, okay, here we go. Using CSS preprocessors. VitePress has built-in support for CSS preprocessors. There is no need to install Vite-specific plugins for them, but the corresponding preprocessor itself must be installed. Okay, so let's do that. Just gonna close this for now, and we're gonna do, I guess, yarn install or npm install. We're using yarn, but here it says npm, so I'm gonna use npm d sus. We're using sus, so I'm just gonna install sus here. Okay, now when this installs, we should add here, like this should be just a standard Vue 3 then. So style language is gonna be Sass. And now I need to include here, like, I probably wanna have that under, so where do I put that, by the way? Like I know that we're including some of these things, like there is one called init that imports all the other stuff. So where do we put, I mean, we should probably put this under VitePress, right? Yeah. I would maybe put it like the whole thing I would maybe put there. Like the whole assets folder. Or what does it say? Where should these things be? Sometimes we need to apply some JavaScript or CSS on the current page. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm wondering how did I do it with, so I already built one project on Vite. I'm just wondering how I did the styles there, but I think, so in here I always kept the styles near the components and I referenced it. So I guess if you do the same here and we do like this thing, that should work. So I'm just gonna keep it here, and we're gonna use style source. And we need to go, actually we're in theme, right? So we need to go one level up. And I'm gonna move the assets into VitePress. So we need to go one level up, go into assets, and go into init sus. Oh, SCSS. Oh, okay. So I was using SCSS, not SASS. Well, all right, so we need to fix that. Or is that, oh, it might be same. SCSSN, SASS, okay. So we're good. Just need to have the, oh, SASS? Okay, that's fine. That is fine. So let's save that. And let's see if something happens here. Nothing happened. Oh, that's because I'm not running the project. Okay, now let's try to run this. Okay, now nothing's displayed, which is usually an error. Failed to respond. The server responded to the status of 500. Okay, let's see the error message here. Internal server, no such file, the right directory, open /assets /init CSS. Yeah, that's my mistake. I forgot one directory here. Let's try it again. All right, now it should work. Nice. All the styles are in. Wow, this is quite easy. I like this. All right, so we got the first thing in place. Now I wonder if the About Me page actually works. So let's try that. All right, so the About Me page works. It does the .html here, which I don't need. Let's see what we can do about that. So it seems like page route suffix. No, that's not what we need. So URL config, maybe something like that. JS object. Okay, I'm probably the first one that solves the space URL. No. So maybe we need to go back into the customization. We were there earlier. That seemed like a good resource. Templating, using components. No. All right, let's not get caught up in the HTML. I'm just gonna be happy with that as it is right now. But let's start on the layout. I think that somewhere I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna open the same website. So we're looking for stream and Gatsby starter content Lumen. Just gonna open the Gatsby site on the Gatsby Lumen site. And I'm just gonna copy over the layout, yeah, because here it's quite clear how it works. So components, we are looking for a layout and the structure from here. So you see here we're also using the init.css. So I'm looking for this layout. So I'm just gonna copy that over to this template. So we're looking for div class layout. Project ID and language code name, we can do these things later. That's for Web Spotlight. We don't need to care about that for now. We also don't need to care about the favicon here, or we could actually do that. But not sure if we actually get access to it. Let me see. Like we have the About Me page here. I'm interested in the source, so we get only div ID app, so we cannot change the head here. We would need another plugin for it, I assume. But that's actually a good thing to check, like VitePress favicon. How do we do that? Oh, okay. So this is a issue for adding the favicon. Oh, this was closed. Why was this closed? Let's check the config again. Maybe it's here. So we got the base, we got language, we got title, we got description. All right, so no favicon here. That's unfortunate. All right, but we can live without that, I guess, for now. So only the div class layout here and content inside. So in React it's children, here it's content. Okay. So let's save that and let's move on. So this looks still the same, but let's move on. So the next component that we need to do is, actually let's check it. So first there is a layout. So we're on index page right now, yeah. So there's a layout and there is div. There's some stuff that goes into the header and some components here. So I'm just gonna copy that over into the index page. And now it's time to find out how we can use the view components here in the Markdown. So let's see. If you are using or demoing components, that's fine. So let's try it then. I'm just gonna copy it over. Or you know what, let's try it first like this, like template. Hello world from Markdown. So we want to go to index. Okay, nothing's rendered. Okay, here's the template, but it's not rendered. Okay. So any view usage, in short, make sure don't access browser DOM APIs, that's fine. We're not accessing any browser APIs, so this should be fine. Okay. So when you need to have more flexibility, VitePress allows you to extend your authoring toolbox with your own view components. If your components are going to be used only in a few places, the recommended way to use them is to import the components in the file where it is used. Okay, so let's see where we are. So we're here, right? So what if we do, like, where is the page that's showing me the base. I think it was here in the VitePress. Okay, here it is. All right. So we got theme, but we also had here like a complete structure of the whole project. I know I saw it somewhere already. Writing a theme, no. Directory structure, that's what I'm looking for. So here is a VitePress and here's components. So let's try to do that. So I'm gonna add here folder components. And let's create here. Yeah, that's what I'm supposed to do. So I'm just gonna create here a folder. So index component. And create here a new file. Let's call that index.view. And let's create here a template. This is index page. In that case, I would probably, in the layout, so in the theme and layout, I would probably add there like some basic style. I would add it here because the content seems to be only for real content pages, not for the things like the sidebar menu links and so on. So I'll just place that here. Yeah. Can remove these. We can add here a sidebar. And I'm probably gonna add here a new component called sidebar. Or I can actually keep it in one folder. Don't know what's the best practice, if to have folders for components. We can always make these folders. Just gonna add it here. So let's call that sidebar. Not in the index, in components, please. Yeah, let's put here sidebar component. And let's import that into the layout here. And we're probably gonna need a script for this. And we're gonna want to import sidebar from components, sidebar view. Or maybe sidebar is enough. I don't know. We'll see. And here we should be able to use just sidebar. Then we have another div called content inner. And this is where we add the content outlet. Not here. Perfect. I wonder, how do we name this? But I guess it doesn't matter. We can name it any way we want. So sidebar, I think that we are also missing one last thing. Let me check the other project, because I think we also need to define which components we are using here. Let me check here on a page. Components, no. We're looking for views. Yeah. For home view, let's see. Yeah, here you see. So we're importing something from the component. And this is also good. Like the add is an alias for source. So we're going to do that as well sometime. But here we need to define the components. So was it in? Yeah, that's next to setup. Yeah, there's a define component, and there's only, all right. I think we need to do it this way. We're gonna use a sidebar here. I'm actually gonna call it with capital S. I like to use components with capitals, just like Vue does. All right, so we should have the sidebar in place. Okay, some error here. Failed to resolve import view composition API from docs VitePress layout view. Does the file exist? Okay, let's remove that. Let's stick with the default. Okay, seems to work now. No. Failed to resolve import /components/sidebar from docs VitePress layout view. Does the file exist? Okay. Okay, seems to work now. So let's see. We got the diff ID app, nothing else here. Okay. So what is wrong here? We got the template here. Let's do this with capital 2, just to make everything correct. And this is index page. Now let's move this one up too. So index, let's call this index page actually. Index page. So when we're here, now I hope I can use that code. Templates. Okay, now maybe template is something that I'll be looking for next. But yeah, we've got the index component. Now I want to use it here. Here we go. So we want to use the custom component. In my case, it's index page. Script setup. Import index page from components/index page.view. Why does it go one folder up? I don't know where is the root of this. Okay, this doesn't work. The requested module VitePress/components/sidebar view does not provide an export named sidebar. Okay, that makes sense. But that might be just my mistake because I made it a named import. So let's do it this way. Okay, cool. Now we got the sidebar there. All right, so we're moving forward. Failed to resolve import components from docs index. Does the file exist? /docs/indexmd. So how do I do this? Like ./VitePress? Or what is... How should this work? This is index page. All right. So like this, it works. Okay, interesting. So let's try to add some. Let's try to add some structure here. So sidebar. I'm just gonna copy that over from here. I think this is. No, this is the index. Let's check the sidebar here. So this is sidebar. I'm just gonna copy the whole HTML structure here. And we're gonna clean it up in a second. Let's put that here. So first of all, div class. I'm just gonna change the class names to classes so we don't have to worry about it anymore. Okay. Now let's remove this. Now we got a link here. How do I handle links in Vue? Let me see. So I'm just wondering where I'm using any links. I think it's in a component bar graph. Yeah, so we're using a router link. This is how we do it in Vue. So router link to, I think this was to home. So to home. Without the class. Now we got image here, profile pic. I think that this is something we need to copy over as well. Let me see. I think we have the image here somewhere. There's the fav icon. Fonts, templates. I think I put it somewhere here. Maybe it's in assets. No, okay, maybe this is coming from, maybe this is coming remotely. But anyway, I'm just gonna put here, I'm just gonna find that file. Just give me a second. I'm gonna find that file on my local somewhere. I know that it was here somewhere. Or you know what? No, let's do it in another way. So this is our project again, but I'm just gonna do it another way. I'm just gonna copy this image. There we go. So docs, VitePress, assets. Let's call this images. And save that file in there. There we go. We got it there. So source is going to be slash. Let's try the @ sign slash assets slash images slash redict.jpg. Alt is going to be author right now. We want to do it statically for now. Router link. So this is going to be the end of the router link. Perfect. So if this is homepage, we're going to display this thing. Let's assume this is homepage for now. So this is going to router link. Again, this is going to be dynamic. H1. This is the other case, so I'm just going to remove it for now. This is a place for bio. Let's remove this for now as well. Yeah, the data content elements, I'm just going to remove all of them. That's Web Spotlight specific. Okay, now we got a few other components here. Just gonna make this simpler. I'm just gonna copy, comment these out for now, just to you know, make sure that the sidebar works. Let's see if this works. Failed to resolve import of the image. Okay. So we're at the sidebar.view, so we need to go one level up to assets. Let's see. All right. This works. This looks much better. So we got layout here, div sidebar. The styles don't look the best right now, but otherwise seems to work. The router link doesn't work for some reason. I guess we need to import it as well. Let me see. So, bar, yeah, let me see how we import it here. I think we need to import the router link as well. So I'm just gonna check how we do it here in the view. Computed, use store. Oh no, we actually don't use it here. Oh, this was here, home, okay. Let's check the home then. Oh, this is all in one place. All right. This was, no, this was bar graph. Bar graph.view. Let's check the HTML here if we're using the router links. Yeah, we are actually. Okay, so that's probably different in Vite than in Vue. So let's see. How to add another page. Okay. Wherever you like to use them, router link. Okay, but the router links are not rendered in my case. Let's see, when we look at this, these should be normal A links, not router links. So let's check VitePress. Oh, this is actually using a router link with capital R and capital L. Let's try using that this way too. Maybe that's the problem. No, still doesn't work. Still doesn't work. Let's see this. Okay, that's locked. Okay. How do I use the router link in our components? It doesn't seem to be working. Let's check here. Import create router from view router. import login. Maybe the problem is that the app is not using the router. That's why it's not recognizing this. So maybe we need to do the app level enhancement. Let me see if there is something in this. Let's search here, route. Does not use view router because the need of VitePress is very simple and specific. Simple custom router is used instead. Okay, if we're not using the view router, we don't need the router links, but that limits a lot of the capabilities. So in that case, we should be fine with just a ref. But I wonder if there is a way how to add it there. Because we're gonna need to generate some files. And I don't know if the VitePress is capable of doing that. I don't know if we can do that. Okay, we can check this Vite lib router. Where's that? Yeah, like this seems like a way how we can do that. Import create error from view router. All right, guys, I'm gonna put a pin in this one, I guess, for the next time, because this seems like there is a lot to learn here. But right now, let's see if this works at least. Okay, so this works. So we got the sidebar here. The styles are not 100% right now, but it's probably because I'm missing some class here somewhere. For example, the image, I think the image should be round, yeah. But otherwise, I think that I'm missing some kind of, let's see. Div class layout, do we have the div class layout in there? Div class layout, sidebar, sidebar inner. Div class layout, sidebar, sidebar inner. Sidebar, sidebar. So there should be some. There should be some stuff in there. There should be more styles, I think. I wonder if I'm getting all the styles, but it seems like I'm not. So this gets me, all right, let's go back here. Let's check it again. So we're getting the init, we're getting base. I don't think we're getting these. We're getting the variables though. Okay, variables, breakpoints, variables. Typographic layout. It's removing the comments there, but that should be fine. Generic. Normalized CSS. That's here. So we're getting that. And it ends with hidden display none. Yeah, here probably too, because there's just way too many things. Base, but it's not getting pages, it seems. Tags, categories, but it should be. Let's try this. No, but it has it here. Look at that. Tags, token, code, float, layout is here. Content inner. Seems like we're missing some stuff still. All right, let's put a pin in this one, guys. I guess I'm gonna do another stream about this next week. In the meantime, I'm gonna try to figure out how to add the router there, because without the router we cannot generate the pages dynamically. Yeah, that's the end goal here. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'm gonna put a pin in this one and come back to it in the next week. All right, so thanks for watching. Enjoy your weekends. Hopefully, you know, coding stuff, and I'll see you next week. See ya.